Hey there, welcome back to The Truth is Somewhere, a conspiracy theory podcast.
Indeed.
Are we talking about conspiracies today, Megan?
Kind of.
Kind of?
Kind of.
Alright.
So, first of all, sorry about last week. Sorry we missed you. I got a little overwhelmed. I have a full-time job and I'm a full-time grad student. So that combined with the podcast, I just needed a break. So thanks for your understanding. And now we're back. And happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Or Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day?
Yeah, like in Big Mouth.
Oh,
if you
yes.
have recently watched the Big Mouth Valentine's Day special.
It keeps getting raunchier and raunchier.
Hilarious.
It's hilarious.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Valentine's.
So I thought that it would be kind of fun to talk about Valentine's Day. Since it is Valentine's Day.
It is.
So every year, on February 14th, people give each other chocolate and cards and flowers and conversation hearts.
And men are guilted into...
Hallmark makes a shit ton of money. I don't want to hear this shit about men being guilted, because when I get to the bottom of this podcast, I don't want to fucking hear it.
Oh, yeah?
That's where we are laying.
Okay? Let's see where this goes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So Hallmark makes a shit ton of money, and that's fine.
Do.
And everybody says that this is like the perfect example of shitty capitalism. Totally is.
Absolutely.
But I wanted to break down the origins of Valentine's Day. Where did Valentine's Day come from? So February as a month has been associated with love and romance for thousands of years. In the days of early Rome, a festival called Lupercalia was celebrated. And the festival celebrated the birth of twins Romulus and Remus. And naturally a celebration of the birth of twins morphed into a celebration of fertility.
Makes sense.
And the coming of spring, which is normally linked with fertility. During Lupercalia, the young women of Rome would place their names into an urn, and the eligible men of Rome would draw out a name, and that man and woman would be paired off for the rest of the festival.
Oh, yeah. That sounds kind of fun.
It's kind of
a little
raunchy, a little weird, but...
Doesn't mean they have to do anything
crazy.
crazy.
That's true, they don't have to have sex.
Yeah, it just means that the two of them are hanging out now.
Yeah, and, like, the article I read specifically was, like, sometimes they would stay paired for longer, because they just enjoyed each other's company.
I mean, that's the point, right? You might actually randomly meet up with someone.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess it's kind of like going to speed dating.
Yeah.
So, there's been recent scholarly discussion regarding the Lupercalia lottery. And some scholars believe it may not have actually happened, but it is the written legend, so that's part of the legend of where Valentine's Day came from.
Okay.
May not have happened, may have happened.
Makes sense.
Doesn't matter either way. So anyway, in steps Christianity, and the festival was declared pagan and immoral. As the Christians did.
They always do.
And Pope Gelasius did away with the lottery around 500 current era. However, Gelasius also found inspiration in the festival, as the Christians did. And he turned the lottery into a lottery of saints, in which the young men would draw out the name of a saint and spend the coming year studying and learning about their saint and attempt to live a more saint-like life.
Okay.
Which is much more boring than drawing out the name of a fancy young lady and going on dates, right?
I agree.
Much more boring. So, Pope Gelasius then declared Saint Valentine the patron saint of lovers and declared that his day would be February 14th of each year.
Okay.
It is unclear who Saint Valentine actually was, but the legend is that he was a priest during the reign of Roman Emperor Claudius, who ruled about 41 to 54 current era.
Okay, so
real early.
Yeah.
Real early.
Almost 2,000 years ago.
Yeah, and so what Claudius had done, he realized that young single men in military service were better than married men in military service because they had no one at home to worry about.
That makes sense.
So he outlawed marriages for young men.
Okay.
He's just like, you can't get married, you have to be in the military. That's how this works.
Okay.
So Valentine was a priest during that era, and he thought that that was wrong. And so he was secretly performing wedding ceremonies for young men during that time period. And Claudius got pissed, of course. So Valentine was in prison for performing marriage ceremonies, and he supposedly fell in love with a girl who came to visit him while he was in jail. Point of interest, the girl who came to visit him while he was in jail might actually have been, like, essentially the warden's daughter.
Okay, this sounds like a book.
Yeah.
But okay.
And, before his execution, he was executed for letting people get married.
What?
Executed. That's nuts. So before his execution, he sent a letter to the girl, and it was signed, quote, from your Valentine.
Oh.
Yep. So that's where it comes from.
Is this actually true?
It's the legend. Nobody actually knows who Valentine is. This is the legend of Saint Valentine.
Okay. So, The legend is you say from your Valentine, as he said. Mm-hmm. So...
And he's become the patron saint of lovers.
Okay.
Because
so
he was big love. He, like, let people get married when they weren't supposed to, and big love.
Okay, so it'd be like, say, from your last name.
Yes.
That would be the equivalent
but it's because now it's Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Okay.
Your Valentine is the person who loves you.
I guess. Sure.
In a big way.
Enough to die. And marry other people.
Yeah. Enough to go against the law.
Yeah, that's true.
To stick it to the man.
That's a good way of putting it. Enough to stick it to the man and go against the law.
So the church then has a hard time maintaining some of its new traditions, and St. Valentine's Day kind of fell off the radar for a while. But during medieval times, the Lovers' Lottery once again grew in popularity, and authors and playwrights began to morph St. Valentine's Day into a celebration of love and romance, and like, the two big ones that are credited basically with our modern interpretation of what Valentine's Day is actually Shakespeare and Chaucer.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So Chaucer's Parliament of Fowls actually came out in the Middle Ages, and it featured all the birds on Earth pairing off with their lifetime mates on St. Valentine's Day.
Aww.
Yep. So then, greetings written to a loved one for Valentine's Day go back as far as medieval times.
Okay.
The oldest known Valentine was written in 1415.
Wow.
Yeah, by Duke Charles of Orleans to his wife.
Oh, good old Duke Charles of Orleans. I know that guy.
Totally. We go way back.
Yeah, back to 1415.
Yeah. So he wrote a Valentine to his wife. It's very sweet. It is also believed that King Henry V hired a writer to compose a Valentine for Catherine of Valois. So, like... How fucking extra can you be? I hired a writer to write you something that's supposed to come from my heart.
Well, did he just write it and then send it? Or did he say, I don't know how to say these things. Can you make it sound
it was like perfectly
exquisite?
Probably perfectly poetic.
You know, there's always some... I remember seeing it a lot in TV shows when I was growing up. Especially those, like, Nickelodeon preteen TV shows and stuff where... They had, like, the guy that tried to sing and he couldn't, and then the guy that could, but was, you know, he wasn't, like, amazing, and then the guy that couldn't would go and pay someone else to play a song for him, and be like, this is how much I love you, and just sit back and listen to this guy play music while the guy, that actually had a little bit of talent, would play his song and win the girl over. But, it seems like, it's a very classic and cliche story.
But when you're a king, I mean...
Yeah.
What's to stop you, right? So.
Look. It's my kingdom. Their skills are my skills.
Fair. Okay. Yeah, I'll go with it.
Yeah.
So then in the late 18th to early 19th century, printing shops learned that they could make a profit for pre-made cards. So that people weren't having to write their own little notes.
Of course.
One thing to say, that I actually really liked what Valentine's Day was way back before the printed cards, was, like, anyone that you had feelings for. So it wasn't just your husband, your wife, like, you would write little, like, endearing notes to your friends.
Oh.
Like, it was just an all-out celebration of like...
Caring for each other.
So... Yeah, they figure out they can make a profit, and thus the Valentine's Day card was born. And today, an estimated 145 million Valentine's Day cards are sent every year. And women purchase about 85% of all Valentines. So I don't want to hear this shit about men being guilted.
Oh, wait, so you're telling me that the cards make up for it?
No, I'm sorry. Would you really like to get into this? Because what, do you get gifts for Valentine's Day?
Yeah, but how... Sure, that's us. But I'm not saying that's everyone.
I think that you would find that the lion's share of relationships are reciprocal on Valentine's Day. I don't think that it's only men ever buying gifts for their wives.
I mean, then why are...
Or girlfriends.
Okay, sure.
I think that they get gifts in return.
I think that I don't want to have this conversation in front of the mic.
I think that they do. I think it's very much traditional. My parents both got gifts for each other.
That's nice.
And for me.
That's good.
I think that it's much more traditional that everybody gets a gift.
Okay.
Even if you don't agree.
Okay.
I think you're wrong.
I don't think it has to do with gifts. Normally it isn't about gifts. Normally it's about taking your lady out for a nice fancy dinner and, Valentine's chocolates and candies and flowers and
Those are
the card.
Gifts in a way.
Yeah,
are they not?
Absolutely, but that doesn't... I don't think that usually goes both ways.
Okay, so if you take me out for dinner as my gift, and then I give you a gift in return, that's not equal?
Ugh.
No, I really want to know.
I'm saying I don't think it normally goes that way. You're saying it does. Okay. I'm saying it doesn't.
Okay. You guys should tell us what you think.
Yeah, we actually would really like to know what
do you guys do?
Yeah, what do you do that's special for Valentine's Day? And do you think that men put out the lion's share for Valentine's Day, or is it something somewhere 50-50? We'd really like to know.
I think it's somewhere 50-50. Obviously, women purchase the most amount of cards. I think that comes from the idea that men see cards the way that you do, where they're just a big waste of paper and trees and money and
truthfully,
space.
To me, it's like paying someone to go write a love letter for somebody else. It's
sure.
Like, thanks for the piece of cardboard with someone else's words on it. Sure, that might be how you feel. You might think that it was pretty and all, but you could have just, hey, write on a piece of paper that says, Happy Valentine's Day, I appreciate you. Mm-hmm. That, to me, says more than giving me a card that has Hallmark stamped on the back.
I also just think it's nice to have a day in which you can appreciate those you love. I like that. I think it's nice.
I agree. I can agree with that, too. I think they're called anniversaries.
But this is more than just you and me. This could be me and Maxine. I'm making Maxine a Valentine's Day present, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So, I think it's nice to have a day in which you show appreciation for the people in your life that you care about.
Okay. I agree. Those days are nice.
I don't have an anniversary with my best friend.
Okay.
So Valentine's Day.
So there you go.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I think it's nice. My love language is gifts. I mean, that's really all it comes down to. My love language is gifts, and I like days in which I can give gifts to other people and in which I receive gifts, because that is how I recognize appreciation and love from other people.
Yep. I will give you the gift of someone else writing you.
It doesn't even I didn't say it had to be a card! I didn't even say it had to be dinner! You were right here, you guys listening. I didn't even say it had to be dinner.
I feel like this is a personal attack on me video from the beginning. As soon as I opened my mouth and I expressed my opinions, it was attack me.
Because you were like, oh no, it's just Guilt Men Day. And I was like, no, women buy 85% of Valentine's cards.
Cards! I don't think...
Sure.
I don't think... What my point was I don't think cards are equivalent to the whole, you know?
Okay, that's fair. I think every example I have ever had in my life was a reciprocal gift giving.
Okay. Not me.
Yep. Okay, that's fine. That is all I have for you guys. I know it's a really short one.
We tried to get something out real short, and for Valentine's Day, it's going to be a little bit late today, but it's still going to be on Valentine's Day, and that's what's important.
Sorry it's so short. See the top of the show in the aforementioned overwhelmed state of the researcher for this podcast. Mm-hmm. That said, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram and weigh in on this debate about Valentine's Day.
We really want to know.
It's at TTIS Podcast on those 3 forms of social media. Mm-hmm. You can email us if you don't want to weigh in publicly on social media at thetruthissomewherepodcast@gmail.com.
True.
If you like what we are doing, you can hop on over to iTunes and leave us that positive review because it helps other people find us. And that's great. We like it when more people find us and more people listen.
Absolutely.
If you really like what we're doing,
really like us,
you can hop on over to Patreon and see what's good over there. Get yourself some swag. Get yourself some videos.
Yeah, we really would appreciate the support. It's just going to make this better. Mm-hmm. I mean, we have an executive producer, Aife.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Happy
helps
Valentine's
us.
Day, Aife.
Yes, happy Valentine's Day. But yeah, absolutely. I think that's about covers it. We have a merch shop. Did you...
Oh yeah, thetruthissomewhere.threadless.com.
That's it.
That is it. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy... It started with an L and now I can't remember it and it's up at the top of my notes.
Happy lemon...
Lupercalia.
Happy...